Very good. Thank you, sir. Always good to see you.
Thank you.
All right, then we will jump to item, and Mr. Weller's here to give the presentation, but we will get a single presentation for items E1, 2, and 3. We'll just lump those in together.
We'll move on to the fire fleet. We are looking at making a big push here. We have a total of 8 ambulances in the fleet. One of the action items is to order 4 new ambulances funded in fiscal year 26. We have already ordered one that should be here very soon. So that would be 5. 5 of 8 is going to give us more than half of the fleet new on the road. The 3 ambulances remain, still have 3 to 5 years left of life, perhaps a little bit more. But we'll be planning to replace those in years to come. Same with the pumpers. We're a total of 6 pumpers in the fleet. If the plan is to order 3 now to be received in 26, 1 has already been ordered, which will be here soon. That'll give us more than half of our pumper fleet new on the road. We're just running into issues with the fire fleet that have prompted us to make this move, specifically with Siddons Martin being in town and having this higher level of maintenance. We're identifying issues on these older units that is starting to make us move in the direction of replacement rather than making some of these repairs. There are some state regulations that do not allow fire apparatus to be on the road longer than 15 years in frontline service, and after that time, they can only be in reserve status for an additional 5 years. And so we're getting very close. Our average age of our fire apparatus fleet is 10 years, slightly over 10 years old, with the oldest being a 2009 model. So we're getting very close to kind of running out of road, so to speak. So these will be a lease through PNC Bank. It says $380,000 payment over 10 years, an option to pay off early. And the 2 remaining units do have several years of life left in them. And that does it. I hope that was informative and not too crazy, but we'll do our best to answer any questions you may have.
Great.
And I'll just briefly, Mayor, if I may,
Sure.
once again just reiterate that this is something that you'll formally see as part of the fiscal year 2026 budget. Similar to the message last month, or earlier in the month, I should say, where we talked about the recommendation for the pay program next year and how that's a historic investment in our employees, with priority being public safety. This will be no different on the fleet side, right? And so you can expect to see a proposed budget for fiscal year 26 that is very aggressive towards public safety, both in pay with the recommendation that came out of the committee, and also with this recommendation, and also with the recommendation that's gonna come forward with fleet, as you're seeing here tonight.
Yes, also Wesley told me to mention, and I forgot, that we are also, another reason we're doing this is to lock in some of this pricing. But the things happening in the world right now, prices are, we don't know what's gonna happen, and we've been warned by some of these vendors that if we don't move quickly, we will see some drastic increases in pricing. So these will let us lock those prices in.
And Wesley and Gilbert deserve a lot of credit for the financing and aspect of this. Similar to all the work that they put in to help figure out, how to achieve the pay program recommendation without having to make any sacrifices, if you will. Same thing here, right? We're able to do this historic investment in fleet for public safety without any major sacrifices, and so they deserve a lot of credit for their creativity and their ability to figure it out. So thank you, guys.
Yeah, I'm certainly glad to see us being proactive and trying to get ahead of problems we see coming in the future. So kudos to you guys for helping us do that. So any questions on these topics?
I had a question.
Sure.
On the 9 vehicles for police, an average of 70,000, does that include the equipment package that we install after, like the radio, those kinds of accessories in that price?
Yes, ma'am, it does. It includes everything except the radio, actually the radio. We get the antennas and the wires and stuff. We actually, our radios are funded through a fund that IT manages. So our lovely IT manager has actually preemptively gotten us some.
He just demoted you, James.
Yeah, director, I'm sorry, okay? Can't be responsible for everything that comes out of my mouth. But But yeah, he got us a few units that we're able to send off to have installed in our new vehicles, and then we'll be rotating old radios out of the old cars into the new cars. They're very expensive, so we kind of keep an inventory of those. Try to. But all the hard parts, the lights, the siren, the cage, all come lumped into that price for each vehicle.
And then maintenance, I know that we had some challenges with the Explorers that we have in fleet currently. Maintenance for these will be in-house, will be out-of-house? How would
Yeah,
that-
so it's in-house, but it's a contractor. So, but they're our contractor. They only work for us, and they take care of our critical fleets. So it will be in-house with our in-house maintenance contractor.
Any other questions?
Oh, yeah. Roger, what's the lifespan on an ambulance? You talked about 4 years for police and about, the timeline for the pumper trucks. What about an ambulance?
Right, yeah, so we have a couple of ambulances. I think we have 3 ambulances now that are 2015 year models, and those I think are our reserves. And they're running right at 170,000 miles right now. So we're looking at just under 10,000 or 20,000 miles per year. So we kind of have gotten away from like our fixed years life cycles, but if I had to put a number on it, I'm going to say 7 years is what would be appropriate for an ambulance. Because at that point in time, they're starting to become obsolete as far as the parts for the bodies and stuff like that go. So you're just kind of on borrowed time after about 7 years.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just really briefly, I would say, and I'm not trying to correct you on the spot, but I think it's important to note that I do think that one of the contributing factors to having to order as many ambulances as we are is this reality that we're all reminded of anytime that a fire chief provides an annual report, which is this reality that the call volume on the EMS side just increases significantly year over year. And so this reality, we're facing a reality that this time frame that an ambulance is basically good for continues to shrink day by day. And so I would say that the lifespan of an ambulance is probably more around the 4 or 5 year mark, just based off of the reality of the demand that the vehicle takes place. Keep in mind too that ambulances respond throughout the entire county as well. And so the mileage that gets put on ambulances also has a contributing factor that geographically they have a pretty large response area. But so I say that to convey that the replacement of an ambulance and a police car are beginning to basically almost become the same time frame wise. It didn't used to be, but it's becoming that slowly but surely.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right. Thank you for the information. Appreciate it. With that, then, I will entertain any motions with respect to item E1.
Move to approve item E1.
I second.
We've got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? E1 passes. Move to item E2. Ms. Hilbrick.
Item E2 is a resolution approving a 10-year lease purchase with PNC Bank for 3 Pierce Sabre pumpers for $380,943 per year from Siddons Martin Emergency Group LLC for a total cost of $3,809,430.
I'll entertain any motions on item E2.
Motion to approve item E2.
Got a motion?
Second.
I've got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? E2 passes. And item E3.
Item E3 is a resolution approving the purchase of 4 Braun Ford F-450 Type 1 ambulances for $1,854,628 from Siddons Martin Emergency Group LLC.
Any motions with respect to item E3?
Motion to approve item E3.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item E3 passes. Again, thanks to all for your work on this. I think make a big difference in helping us stay ahead of some issues that are potentially down the road. So thank you all very much. We'll move on then to item E4.
Item E4 is a resolution approving an economic development program under Chapter 380 of the Texas Local Government Code and authorizing the city manager to enter into an economic development agreement with Victoria Exchange Development LP